Every year, hundreds and thousands of people die from a horrible disease that could have possibly been prevented. Figures from the Center for Disease Control show that approximately 97 million Americans are overweight or obese. That is over 1/2 of our population, including both adults and children. These figures grow every year, and so do the figures of how many people die from obesity-type illnesses such as heart disease and diabetes. The sad thing about this is that for most of us, we don't have to die this way. Our lifestyle and eating habits are a big reason as to why obesity is making such a huge impact on American society. People who are obese are also more likely to suffer from 3 obesity side effects such as heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and depression. By adding 20 minutes of daily exercise, you can begin to build a habit of healthier living by choosing a form of exercise you like to do and making it a habit by using incentives to help keep you on track and help fight obesity. Today, I will share some ideas with you on how to incorporate daily exercise into your life. Let me begin by first sharing how modern technology can influence bad habits. When I was young, if I wanted to go visit someone, I had to either ride my bike or walk. Today, those options are still available, but we also have the options of electric scooters and other types of self-driven mobile transportation. These types of transportation are fun and convenient, but these mixed with all the other luxuries we have begun to acquire, like media streaming and home grocery delivery, are making us as society more lazy. Dr. M.N. Jimerson, a mental health crisis counselor, shares, quote, "In addition to poor nutrition and oversized food portions, children's activity levels also have a bearing on childhood obesity. However, instead of getting adequate exercise, children today are leading increasingly sedentary lives. Less than 1/4 of children walk or bike to school, compared with more than 2/3 a generation ago," close quote. They are taking all of the physical activity out of our lives, and what's worse is since we are missing out on the physical aspect by using these devices, it also impacts our health as well. If you're not participating in physical activity, we do not burn off as many calories as we are taking in. Couple that with the fact that our diets consist of a lot of processed foods from fast food chains, it's not hard to see why we're becoming obese. What's crazy is a lot of the health problems brought on by obesity can be prevented by making changes in our diet and adding physical activities or exercise. So how much exercise do we need to start fighting obesity? According to the Center for Disease Control, we need to achieve at least 2.5 hours of exercise every week. That is only about 20 minutes a day. That 20 minutes is going to help fight heart disease by keeping our arteries and blood vessels clean of plaque buildup so our heart can pump the blood where it needs to go faster and stronger. It will also help against type 2 diabetes by helping regulate insulin, and it'll help depression by releasing endorphins. If you think about it, 20 minutes is not an unreachable goal for most people. I'm sure some of us in here have no problem finding that amount of time or more binge watching a TV show on Netflix. And if you think about it, 2.5 hours is pretty much the length of a normal movie nowadays anyway, and we are still able to fit those in as well. But let's say you don't have 20 minutes. Maybe you're a parent with small kids that require your consistent attention, or you work long hours every day. You can further break down your 20-minute time into a couple 10-minute time segments if needed. The important thing is that you're doing what you can, when you can, to fit it in. Our lives are also built on habits like brushing our teeth, wearing our seatbelts, etc. And adding something like exercise to our already busy day may take some strategic planning. Maybe we will have to get up 20 to 30 minutes earlier in the morning to fit the time in. Results from a study performed at 2 separate universities by numerous doctors in the field of psychology and sport and exercise produced the following results, quote, "Exercise habit strength may increase as a result of conscious action planning and frequent behavior enactment," close quote. So just like when we begin any new habit, as we continue to consciously plan to add exercise into our day, we'll be able to more effectively implement it into our daily schedule. One thing that worked really well for me when I started and still use today is setting up my workout clothes where I can see them when I wake up. They are then the first thing I put on when I get up in the morning, and this helped me get motivated and remind me that exercise is important. Now that we know how much time to spend exercising, it's important to choose the right type of exercise benefit to help you. Today, there are so many different types of exercise activities available, from the traditional cardio programs to MMA style to using weights. And because not everyone may be able to do a lot of strenuous or mild intensity driven programs, there are still the yoga and other types of fitness that they can do. Even video game publishers are getting in the fight by making games that make people get up and move. A number of the research studies performed in the May 2015 issue of the Contemporary Clinical Trials demonstrated that playing active video games burned as many calories as walking and cycling. Because everyone wants to get in and done with their workouts, many exercise programs, with or without weights these days, are able to be accomplished in about 20 to 30 minutes. And if you only have a short amount of time and don't want to follow a specific program, try implementing fitness into what you are already doing. Like lunge from one room to the other in your house, or go up and down stairs if you have multiple floors. There are a lot of things you can do to achieve those 20 minutes, and quite a few you can do without even leaving your house, which also helps in fitting in the time needed for your daily fitness because you don't have to go anywhere to do it. After finding the right exercise style, the best way to get started is with the help of incentives. I have a mixed relationship with incentives when it comes to fitness. I think they're great for when you are just starting because they keep you motivated to keep at it. And if you think about it, we have incentives offered to us throughout our life anyway. They're either from our parents for our behavior or teachers for our grades. So we know they work. One thing to think about when it comes to exercise is it's best to only use them sporadically. A study on the impact of incentives given as a random control test by Dr. Kelly Strawhacker in the Society of Behavioral Medicine shows that when it came to incentives for exercise, the results were successful, but mostly when they were used for short term at the beginning of habit building or to increase your daily amount of exercise. One problem I have with using incentives with exercise is that sometimes people use them for punishment. An example of this is when someone punishes themselves with more exercise for not following their diet correctly. Or because they skipped a day, they have to make up for it by doing 2 workouts that day. Fitness should never be used as a punishment. It's already something that you may be hard to achieve, so when you use it as a punishment, you are only setting yourself up for failure, and that is defeating the purpose of what you're trying to accomplish. If you think about it, exercise itself brings its own rewards. And if you're doing something you like to do, then enjoying what you're doing and seeing the results is incentive enough. In closing, I want to offer you a challenge to begin some form of exercise or activity that takes a minimum of 20 minutes per day to accomplish. By adding 20 minutes of daily exercise, you can begin to build a habit of healthier living by choosing a form of exercise that you like to do. Make it a habit by using incentives so that you can keep on track and help fight obesity. Because obesity is a big problem. A problem that can be fought with only 20 minutes a day. Don't wait to get started in the fight against obesity and all it brings with it until it's too late. Decide today that you are ready to change your life by either finding an exercise program you like doing and making it a part of your daily life because your life